Welcome to the podcast, Surakshit. It's a pleasure to have you with us.
Hey, hi Adit. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for calling me.
Yeah, so let us start with the podcast. Before we delve deeper into the specifics of today's topic, it would be amazing if you could give our audience, a brief introduction about yourself.
Yeah. Okay. I joined BITS in 2015 and I had uh, MSc chemistry and then I got a mechanical engineering and was that I used to be like pretty much involved in all the activities, had a lot of PORs while in college, used to play a lot of sports, captain of the tennis team, and then went on to become the sports secretary. Then I was deeply involved in all the three fests that we have. And meanwhile, doing all these fun activities and everything, I was also a guy who would network a lot. So as you see people browsing over Instagram and Facebook these days, I used to just go around and spend most of my time on LinkedIn as such. So it was, and that quite like that made it very easy for me to get an internship in my third year and fourth year, and then subsequently in fifth year, and finally getting the placement at Flipkart. So while in college, I think I did three interns. One of them was at OYO. Then it was at an edtech startup called Hello English, and then did my PS2 at Credit Suisse, and then finally got placed at Flipkart.
Oh, what were your roles in those internships?
So in OYO, I had a data science role. Data science intern. So I was working at the Gurgaon headquarter office only. And for the edtech startup, I was working as a product management intern, running a lot of A/B tests and identifying trends and things like that. Credit Suisse was more of a risk management role, but since it was a pretty big firm, so the kind of impact that you would generate in a backend office is pretty less. So in that sense, that was my PS2, and finally in Flipkart, it's a business analyst role.
Based on the surveys that we conducted, it seems that people are unaware of what analytics actually is. So, can you tell us exactly what analytics is about and what goes on with the day to day responsibilities of a business analyst like you?
So yeah, it's true. Analytics and product management both in general are pretty new, and these are like upcoming fields. So analytics predominantly would be playing with data, identifying what kind of data is required, and then finally making sense out of that data and generating important business insights or maybe strategic insights. And based on that, then finally taking actions, and then again closing the loop with the metrics that you're going to track. So that in a nutshell would be analytics. Again, it could be different for different kinds of industries. For business, the metrics that you'd be tracking would be different. For a supply chain role, the metrics would be different. But on a broader level, you make sense of the data, you identify what kind of data you actually require based on the hypothesis that you develop. Yeah. So on a day-to-day level, I would say it's pretty different because every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, you try to finish a problem statement and get onto a new one. So just giving you a perspective of e-commerce, let's say there could be one problem where some particular product is facing a lot of returns. So based on that, you would probably build an hypothesis that why are returns happening? Is there something wrong with the product, or is there something wrong with the supply chain? Customers who are getting the product are not the right customers that should get the product, and these kinds of various problems are there. So you try and identify ki bhai, what exactly could be the problem. Based on that, you try and get that data and then make sense out of that data using whatever tools you want to use. Yeah. So that's that in a nutshell. Analytics is all about. And
So, from what I gather, you need to have a specific outlook or perspective to identify data and to work with it, right? So, and since you have done a lot of activities and initiatives on campus, what specific orientations or activities on campus helped you develop the right perspective for this role?
yeah, so there is no right or wrong activity as such, or matlab you can be a part of anything and try to problem solve. So you could be a part of a sports team, and then there you could find something that this is the problem that I want to solve, and then probably think on that, discuss with people and solve it. Or maybe you could be a part of some club where the club is facing some issues, or maybe you're trying to get into a new kind of an activity and you need to problem solve that. So it is not about the specific kind of activity or specific kind of organization that you need to be part of, but it is more of a mindset kind of thing. Ki wherever you look, you will always find some problems, and you try to identify what are the parameters on which you can solve the problem, and then break the problem and solve it. So that is how you will get the perspective. It is not like any particular club or an organization is going to help you. Anything you are involved in can help you.
Now coming to the placement scenario, from what we have seen, Flipkart is very selective when it comes to hiring for business analyst and APM roles. We would like to know how did you crack Flipkart, and it would be great if you could elaborate on your placement experience as well.
Sure. So this is true. Flipkart is very selective, and I think it is one of the most sought after roles and one of the most sought after companies on campus for placements. So definitely they're selective. But talking from the other side of it, when I look at it, it is not very difficult to crack it. It is just that you need to have the right set of skills and the right set of guidance to get through. So uh, I will talk about my placement interview and my placement journey in a bit, but the kind of skills that generally any analyst or a bigger company would look at would be first, you need to have some technical skills, which would be ideally different for every company, but in general, you should at least have a good understanding of some data analytics tools like Python, Excel. Definitely, you should know Tableau. If you know, it's great. SQL also you should know. So not like in-depth knowledge, but like the usage of particular tools and particular functions you should definitely know in order to make sense of the data set or any problem. So that being the first kind of skills that you need to have. Second would be good communication skills is definitely very important, because see, all product management or business analyst or even consulting interviews for that matter require you to be very thorough with your speaking skills, so that the person sitting next to you gets to understand what you are trying to convey. So basically, whatever you want them to understand should be very crisp and clear. So you should not go round and round. So that way you should develop your speaking skills, and basically network a lot with a lot of people, and try to talk about different topics and debate a lot and have group discussions. So that way that will help you. Now coming to my placement journey. So Flipkart happened by a surprise. I gave the GD and it went pretty well, and there were like 90 100 people that were shortlisted for the GD round, and there were like 7 8 people in every GD, so around 12 13 GDs were there. And essentially it looked like one person would be there from each GD, and it was a skeptical and I think the most important step, because getting in out of 13 people is a tough task, because in a GD there is limited amount of things that you can actually do. So somehow that happened, and GD topics could be as varied as talking about TikTok, or maybe talking about Narendra Modi, or anything for that matter. It could be as vague as possible. So you can't really prepare for a GD. All you can do is have different perspectives, have varied topics, and have a lot of things to talk about. That's how you can prepare for a GD. Then coming to the first round was a standard resume grilling was there, and then there were 2 3 puzzle questions, just standard interview puzzle questions, and then there was a couple of small product and business cases. Could be like uh, how do you solve for a supply chain problem, or how do you solve for a credit card fraud? Could be anything. So basically, they don't want you to be very technical with it. So like they will never ask you to actually write the code and solve it, or they would expect you to know what you're solving, how you're solving, and what would be the right metrics that you want to look at. So that was pretty much my first round, and it went well. I was happy coming out of the interview room. Then by that time, out of 80, I think 20 people were selected for the first round, and out of those 20, I think 12 or 13 were shortlisted for the final round. So then the second round was there. Second round was again a bit of a resume grilling, and a little bit about my internships, my projects, because I had a e-commerce and a little bit of data science background also. So that way my resume was grilled a bit. Then again, it was a different product case, a little bigger this time. Again, don't remember exactly what the product case was, but again, it had a mix of product and a business case. So they would give you some business problem which you can actually essentially try and solve with some product fix, or maybe some kind of strategy you try and incorporate. So that was the second round. Went pretty well again, and I was pretty confident that I have done both my rounds pretty well. So on the basis that they will give you a cumulative score, and your cumulative score can be higher, and then they would rank you on the basis of your cumulative score. Then again, the third round was a standard HR round where they try to gauge that whether you are fit for the particular company or not. So Flipkart has its own values and own set of fit questions that they ask to all the candidates to judge. So that was pretty much my journey. It took like from 8 a.m. in the morning I started, and went on till like 6, 7 p.m. Yeah. So quite exhaustive in that sense, but then that's how placement process is. Yeah.
Okay, the next question is for all your juniors who wish to follow in your footsteps. So, since you have done a lot of internships, which most people dream about, what are the kind of skills that they must have before they start applying for internships or sit for placements for that matter?
Right. So I would just like to correct the question. You should start looking for internships first, and then develop the skills based on what the particular internship is demanding. So basically, my general advice would be to start looking for internships, try connecting with the people on LinkedIn or your personal connects, or however you want to connect with them. Just try and connect with a lot of people, and keep asking them about this particular opportunity and that, and whatever role you're targeting. You can just quickly try and connect with people and identify ki, bhai, what is something that is required in that particular role, and then work on your skills and identify how you can mold a particular project that you have done into that particular internship, or how you can leverage your previous internships project or previous internships work into this internship interview. And that's how you develop the skills. So it will never be that you will have all the skills for a particular internship and then you apply. So I'll give you my example. So when I was interviewing for OYO for my internship, I did not know SQL at all. So before the interview, I think 1 hour before the interview, the HR called me and told me, you'll have your interview at this time, and they expect you to know a little bit of SQL also, and if you know R also, that is also great. So at that point of time, I did not have any understanding of SQL. So I went back, studied SQL for 1 hour, and got the basic understanding, basic gist of how it works and how some technical skill works. And then I went into the interview. I was able to crack it. So by this example, I just want to say that mm, don't run after the particular sought after skill. Just go in the interview process, just go in the internship process and identify what skill is required for this particular internship, and that's how you will land.
How does one's growth pan out in terms of future opportunities with respect to analytics and exit opportunities to help you diversify maybe into some other field in the future?
Sure. So, as I've told you earlier, also analytics can be applied in every industry possible. So you can take up tourism, or you can take up any business, or you can take up e-commerce for that matter, hotel industry, payments industry, ed tech. So analytics can be applied anywhere. So by exit opportunities, it would mean two things. First would be just changing the industry, keeping the analytics role similar, which is kind of very easy because uh, the kind of hold that you have on data will be there once you start working on it. So it becomes very easy for you to fit in any kind of industry and do the similar kind of analytics work over there. Secondly, if you genuinely want to switch from an analytics role to probably a business role or a consulting role, that again is also possible, and that also is helped by analytics because let's take an example of a consultant. So essentially, what a strategy consultant would do, he would identify a particular problem based on many discussions with the stakeholders, and then formulate his problem statement, then try to solve that using some different kinds of data that he would be gathering with, again with different stakeholders, and then finally building up on a solution. So again, because you have a lot of understanding of how to get the data and how to use that data and how to finally build the strategy on that data, analytics will definitely help you in getting into other roles also. But since analytics require a lot of time to get a good hold of it, in order to grasp, you need to spend 1 year and year and a half to be very proficient enough in analytics. So that was about the exit options. And as far as the future opportunities are concerned, analytics is still at a growing level. So it will keep on growing, and as the technology grows, the procedure of analytics and the procedure of making sense out of the data will also keep on changing. So it is a pretty dynamic field, I would say, and the future scope is also pretty good. We see new models coming up every day. OpenAI has recently launched its GPT-3 model. So basically, there will be new technologies coming every day, and with new technologies, new kinds of analysis and new kinds of techniques come up. So in that sense, analytics is still at a very nascent stage, keeps on growing, and as the field grows, you grow with it.
All right. Coming to the last question of the podcast. If you had one piece of advice for your younger self, what would it be?
So I would break it into two parts. One is I would give them a professional advice. So my professional advice would be ki network as much as possible, no matter what profile, what company, what role you're targeting, just network with a lot of people and get to know people, not just for the sake of it, but also ensure that while you're talking to them, while you are understanding what they do, just take out some learning from it and try to inculcate it. So that would be my professional advice to myself, or maybe juniors for that matter. Ki bhai, you talk to somebody, try to understand what this guy is doing and how he's doing that and why he's doing that and what is the logic behind that. So that will give you a lot of perspective into different industries. So that way, this will also help you in identifying ki bhai, I want to go for this particular role, or I want to go for this particular role, or XYZ company excites me, or anything for that matter. So you don't actually have to get in there to identify ki bhai, I am not liking this, probably something else is what I want to do. But just by networking also, you'll be able to understand ki bhai, this guy's work is interesting, I would also want to do the same. So that would be my professional advice. Personal advice on a lighter note would be to have as much fun as possible while in college, because frankly, that's the only time, and a lot of time is there to have fun. So do your networking and do your skill set development, but side by side, make sure that you enjoy your college life. With COVID coming into the picture, it is understandably very difficult to have fun, but still, whatever time you get to spend in college, have fun as much as possible. Try to do everything that is there on campus, play sports, get into clubs, get into departments, do a lot of fun activities, go on trips. Just don't sideline studies for that matter, because GPA is again very important, but make sure you have a healthy balance of both the things.
All right. That was wonderful. Thank you, Suraksha. Thank you for taking out your time. This is certainly your way of giving back to the student community.
Thanks, Adit. Thanks a lot. I really enjoyed the podcast. Thanks.